Welcome back, everyone, for another episode of the Chamber Podcast. My name is Rob Johnson. We have a great episode for you today. Joining me in studio is Jon Schwartz. He's the Vice President of Operations for Brivar. Welcome, sir.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to hop on here and talk a little bit about the business and things going on.
Absolutely. So you guys are a design build commercial general contracting firm based here in Brighton. Is that right?
Absolutely. Been based in Brighton since 1988, since our inception. And have recently moved over to our new facility off of Maltby Road, just south of the Costco there, and took over the old warehousing market there, and have renovated a new 10,000 square foot kind of state of the art office and a 20,000 square foot warehouse facility behind there, and it's really another element in what's helping us move and grow and kind of bring on new talent. So.
When did you guys officially move into that building?
Moved into that facility 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago now, and really took it over. And like I said, hired some new people since then. It's helped us grow. Our last facility was only about 4,000 square feet, was a lease. So now it's our own. We've put our own stamp on it, and it's really been received well. Helps when clients come in, they can see new elements of new construction, new build, stuff that they like, that they want to see in their facility when we get that opportunity to build for them. So it's been great for us.
Yeah, it's a showroom of sorts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good. So if you're at a networking event, or if you're out and about and people ask you, what the company does overall, what's your elevator pitch? How do you distill everything that you do down into 30 seconds?
Well, in 30 seconds, we'd like to market ourselves as a design build general contractor that will help the owner of a new facility from soup to nuts complete. If they know that they need a 100,000 square foot building, they need it in Livingston County, we can help from every aspect of the land acquisition, permitting, possibly land grants or other financial incentives, full design, full permitting, full construction, turnover, and even if there is some process work that needs to be instilled into the project, we can help out with that as well. So really like to let the owner know that they can be as involved as they want, or we can take it from the design concept and deliver it, and they can come back in 12 months and they'll have a fully built, usable facility.
So going back to the beginning of the company, how did it come into existence and how has it evolved over the last, almost over 35 years now?
Well, in 88, there was the inception of it was two individuals that built the company, started design build in the Livingston County area. But really, it's moved since 2007. Craig Stockard acquired the company in 2007, was a carpenter by trade, and wanted to move into the general contracting business and found the opportunity to take on Brivar. He did so, and since then has survived, obviously, the economic downturn through 2008, 2009, suffered some of those hits, but was able to sustain the business long enough, keep it viable, and with 2016 or so coming along, really started to elevate the business. We started to bring on some other talent. In 2018, I was able to hop on board from the industry, and really we've grown since then. So,
what was that transitionary period? So you came on board in 2018, right?
Yes.
And then you have a couple of years, pre-pandemic before, things start to shut down. What was that period like pre and post, since everything in the construction and design industry changed over those 2 years?
Well, for me personally, coming on to a new position, smaller company, I worked for a much larger multi-billion-dollar company prior to this. I wanted different challenges and new challenges. So personally, it was adjusting to having many, many people and assets at my fingertips to coming to a smaller company that's more intimate with the owners of the buildings and figuring out a little different dynamic from there. I far more enjoy this than the previous, dealing with large corporations and dealing with, say individuals that aren't as invested in the final product as we are dealing with customers now who are either CEOs or owners of the company or owners of the building, and really want to know, every part and piece that goes into the building. So for me, it was a transitionary period there, really realizing how much more is needed to operate a small company. And then for the company, in 2018, the market was still good. Everything was still moving forward fairly well. We were bringing some new customers in, and for about 2 years, there are no real problems. Pandemic comes along right when we're starting to elevate our game, and just really threw a bump in the road. We were able to survive because we had several projects underway that were identified as critical projects at that time, and really helped us maintain through that 2-year duration.
Sure.
We know several companies that just completely fell off. They couldn't bring any income in, couldn't do any sales during that time, had to send a lot of their people home. And in the construction industry, it's not as acceptable to not have the majority of the staff available at all times, whether it's on site or it's in the office. You can do some collaboration. Obviously, Teams and meetings online have been acceptable, but for us to operate well, especially within the office environment and then supporting our field staff, we need to be able to bounce ideas off each other within the office, be collaborative, work on documentation directly in front of us, whether we're doing design, print, flip, and review in person with outside entities coming in, whether it's the design team or other general contractors or other subcontractors. We really need to have that collaboration. And quite frankly, you can only get so much of that working on a Teams event or working online, right? So, those several projects that allowed us to continue to move forward through that time really helped us sustain. And coming out of that, delivering those couple of projects also helped catapult us, to where we are now. One of the key projects at that time was Presque Isle Electric and Gas Company's new headquarters. It was deemed a vital project at that time because it was supporting utilities and utility upkeep. And that project helped us sell a lot of our current projects and future projects that we're moving forward with. It was a step up in construction in that it entailed not only a new headquarters facility that's going to last for the next 50 to 75 years, hopefully, but it also had service centers within it. It had meeting space. It had storage space. It had fabrication space. It had some lab space within. And it really entails a lot of different elements of what we like to sell in the light industrial and commercial market segments.
I see. So every current project that you're working on in your back of your mind is going to be a showcase for potential businesses coming in the door, right?
Absolutely. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on is that almost 90% of the customers that we have recently brought on, we've been able to maintain relationships and utilize those existing facilities as our showpiece. So we have no problem contacting Exotic Automation and Supply or NLB Systems and bring future clients through those existing facilities and show them what we were able to accomplish for those customers. And they speak highly of us, with no prompting. They're very appreciative of what we did. We're very appreciative of the opportunity that we had to build for them and that they trusted us with their new, generational facility.
Sure. So in the 6 years that you've been with the firm, what has been one of the more memorable projects that you've worked on and been a part of?
I would say both the Exotic Automation facility off of Grand River as well as the Presque Isle Electric and Gas facility up north. Both projects, Exotic Automation, one because the customer, Exotic Automation, but the Marino family, was very engaging and still has been to this day. We currently still do a good amount of work with them. We bring them into new projects that we're doing. We actually have a very exciting project for us that we've bid on with the Corps of Engineers, and hopefully have an opportunity to get, and we'll be working directly out of Warren. And that would be utilizing exotic automation for a large segment of that build.
Okay.
As well as the fact that they're just good people overall, and they've been very, very helpful, very good to use as a sounding board for our growth, as well as just understanding where they've gone to. Building their building has allowed them to catapult in their industry much further as well. The Presque Electric and Gas facility was just another one that it touches so many different segments of construction that it's very marketable for us. It's a little out of reach geographically, so we don't get as many customers that want to visit that. But in fact, in saying that, it did help us land a very large project that we just did a ribbon cutting for last week for DTE in Waterford. They have been trying to build a new facility, the first of their type, for 30 years for DTE in Waterford. They were working with another design team and another general contractor for 3 years trying to get it out of the ground. They could not make it reach the budget that they were aiming for, and they were made aware of the facility up north, and through collaboration of their internal team, they visited it. They reached out to us. They asked us for some additional budgeting, additional information on the facility. The facilities that they were looking to build that was similar had a lot of the aspects that they were looking for, and ultimately we were able to go through a pretty strenuous process with DTE and win their project, and we built it. And again, as I just said, we just did a ribbon cutting here last week and have delivered that project to DTE, and it's going to help the Metro Detroit area deliver power and hopefully maintain services for the next 50 years to come.
That's awesome.
So it's very good for us.
That's cool. So John, one of the main audiences of this podcast are business owners, and one of the questions I like asking people that have been in a particular industry for a number of years relates to challenges. So what's one of the biggest challenges you've faced in the last 6 years specifically, and what did you do to get through it and overcome it?
Oh, hands down, the biggest challenge in the industry right now is still getting people, both from the management side, where it really affects us directly, and then from the trade side. From the trade side, I reached out knowing that I was going to come here and talk, and spoke with several of our subcontractors, our key contractors that we work with every day, and just wanted to get a direct feel for what they're still experiencing in the marketplace. And it's still very, very tough to get skilled trades engaged, not only at the job site, but even at any of the career fairs or at the union markets where they're trying to bring new people in. It's not as marketable as it was before. Everyone wants to go to college, and they see college as the path going forward, and where anybody in the construction trades could tell you that a long career can be had in the construction trades. You can make good money. You can get good compensation, whether it's a 401k or some sort of back wages with respect to retirement, health insurance as well. And the trades they do not maintain the same dangers, I would call it, or risks that they did 20, 30, 40 years ago. The industry is much, much safer now. The risks are less, although they are still there. It's still a dangerous job, and there are many measures that are put in place to help maintain safety for people. But for those that don't have the opportunity or the funds to put forth for college and maintain a 4-year, call it career in college,
sure,
you can go to trade school, or you can work with a local contractor and really earn your position and earn a career that you can sustain a family and move forward in life. And it's just not really being marketed well, I think, to where people really want to go do that. If you can come out of school and weld, you can have a career anywhere in the world.
Sure.
If you really want to. So there's opportunities out there. Pipe fitters, electricians. There's so many opportunities. It's just really it's a marketing issue right now. Not only that, but they are having issues maintaining the people once they do come on the job. It's a tough job. You're not going in, you're not sitting in here like where you get to sit in here comfortably inside, right? I walked inside here today and it was raining outside. The construction industry doesn't stop during the rain cycles, doesn't stop during the cold cycles. So, you've got to be prepared to do that. But one of the things that I like about my position, and it's not working out in the field, it's not working with my hands, but it's that every single day is new and it's different. So when you're in the construction trades, every single day is new and different. And if you're someone that maybe has, that doesn't like to do monotonous things over and over again, the construction trades might be for you. You get a new job site regularly. You get new people that you're working with regularly, and new problems to solve. And it's usually a job that requires you to adjust kind of on the fly. Yeah. Although you may have plans, you may know where you're going, every little job has problems on a day-to-day basis that really requires you to think. So trades are a huge issue, especially right now in the Metro Detroit area. There's a lot of work, so there's lacking good, professional, competent trades right now. So that's a significant problem. And then where I deal with it on the management side is bringing in good, talented people that want to work and are ready to invest in the position, just like I described, where you can't, we don't have the opportunity to allow you to work from home. And it's a new trend. It's not even new as such anymore, right? Right through COVID, everyone moved home.
Sure.
Everyone started working from home. And it was adaptable to a lot of positions. But for us, it doesn't work because we need the collaboration in-house. We need the people to bounce ideas off of to help problem solve. And you can only get so much of that, like I said, working from the phone, working from Teams, working remotely. We need to visit job sites. We need to be on the ball right there and looking at the problems and trying to describe that to people that aren't there. And we don't need to put one more person outside of the equation trying to figure it out from outside. So finding people that are willing to call it, maybe be a little more old school in the work-life transition and have that opportunity, that's been problematic recently. And what I think people are missing out on is that, it is an exciting job. Again, it's not the trade job where you're hands-on, you're getting dirty every day, but you are problem solving on a daily basis. And if you want something that is going to challenge you every day and keep you moving and thinking every day, and you have to manage your time, you have to manage your relationships, you have to be adaptable to different problems. It's an exciting career for those types of people. It's ever challenging. You have great opportunities to continue to learn through BIM modeling, through the new online services that you can do, the way that we can design buildings remotely without full integration of a design team and start to develop a project before it has to be fully engineered. There's just so much exciting stuff out there in the construction industry. It's really anybody with an engineering mind or someone that really likes to be a little bit more hands-on, a little bit more challenged on a daily basis, I would say that they should definitely look into the construction industry and see where it goes.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought up the marketing issue with the trades and people choosing college over trades, and it's something that I know, at least in this county, in this area, when I meet with other business owners and whatnot, it's something that they are trying to push very heavily, is that there's more options to just going to a traditional 4-year university. There's other things that you can do where you don't have to necessarily go into debt and not have a guaranteed outcome. Whereas these trade skills that you're talking about, I mean, it's hard to say anything is guaranteed, but if you have one of those skills, odds are you're going to be employed for a very long time.
Absolutely. You've got to be a little bit of a self-starter.
Sure.
You've got to know that you're going to get up and you're going to work that day. The trades will demand that you get to a site. You've got to work that out. You've got to, again, meet new people and work with new groups on a daily basis. So it really requires a certain type of person. You can't be someone that wants to go in and, again, just do the same task over and over again and maybe just work with the same people. But It's for those that like change and like challenges, the construction industry is a great opportunity for them. And again, if you can walk out of your first 4 years of starting work, which is essentially what college is trying to prepare you for, the first 4 years of kind of starting work, and you cannot be in debt, especially to the tune of several tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Sure.
What a better way to start life as you go forward in your professional career with that opportunity. And there are many, many individuals that come out of the trades and move into management if that's their desired path. And those are the people that particularly we like to look for. If I had an opportunity to hire an individual for the same like position, I would much prefer to hire someone that was a trade-based individual as opposed to a college-based individual, just because of the life experience and the work experience that they have. They've been in the field likely, they've been problem solving along the way, and they've had an opportunity to look at multiple elements of construction usually, as opposed to someone that has learned from only the book or from pages or from tests and not realize the life experience that comes with it. It's just so valuable to have someone that can actually say, you know what, I built something recently like that, or I was involved in something like that, or, I worked with multiple trades. I understand the problems that come with, you can't put that duct where it's shown because the electrician's not going to be able to get to the panel behind it. I've seen it. I've done that. As opposed to someone that's new, and you've got to bring those people through. Now, there's great opportunities in college, and there's great individuals that come out of college and they are extremely successful. So I'm not downplaying that college is not the path. It's just not the only path for a lot of people out there. And, depending on who you are, maybe not jumping off into your professional life with some debt behind you is not the best thing for them. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking forward, you guys you're 6 years into the company right now. If you look at the next 3 to 4 years, is there any large initiatives on the horizon? I know growth's a big thing for you guys, getting right talent in the door. What do you hope Brivar looks like in the next 3 years?
In the next 3 years, it fits into our long-term plan right now. We'd like to sustain where we are now, possibly build toward another 10 million in sales, and then really plateau for a while. We have been concentrating on controlled growth and getting to a point to where we can measure that we can hold that level and really not take on too much to where we can't control the quality that we can deliver to a customer.
Sure.
Or we have brought on maybe not the right people. We want to be at a point where we're a solid 100 million in sales without issues that we can't, wrap our arms around. So, for the next 3 years, small amount of growth still, and then really plateau and kind of ride that out for a while, and really feel out where we are. If that works, and then we can maintain that level for a portion of time, 5 years or so beyond that, then we're going to look to grow again. But we think the market segment for us at 100 million in sales puts us, below the real big contractors of the Detroit area, and puts us really in a good niche where we can serve customers directly. You're going to meet the owner of the company, Craig Stockard. You're going to meet the people that are dealing with your project on a daily basis. They're available, and we can really help you as a customer understand everything that's going on with the job if you want to. Again, we have customers that come in and they want to be involved on a daily basis, and we have customers that come in and say, hey, this is what I want. I need 100,000 square feet, and I'll see you in 10 months, and we can deliver it like that. Okay. So, every customer is different, but for us, a small amount of growth, plateau, let's ride it out. Let's make sure we are right and we can serve the customers going forward properly from there, and then build on that.
Very good. And if listeners want to get a hold of you, might want to talk to you about starting some pre-construction discussions, where should they do that?
they can find us online at brivar.com. They can reach out to us at our office right there in Brighton off of Maltby Road. We're there 5 days a week. And if they really want to, we can offer some information. They can reach out to me directly, john@brivar.com, and I can help field any questions they want. And that's John, Jon, @brivar.com. And we're really happy to, really lend our expertise on the front end. A lot of the stuff that we do to help a customer really realize where they're going, we do. I like to think that we do more on the front end, kind of pro bono, to make sure that the customer understands really what they're getting into. And it, quite frankly, it also gives us an opportunity to feel the customer out. The next job would not be the first job where we actually turned down a client because we just thought, hey, we don't think this fit's going to work out the best for us and for you going forward. And maybe there's a different contractor out there that you can work with that would work. And I'm sure along the way, there's been a customer or two that's thought the same of that. What we really want to do is we want to create a relationship after we build that building. Like I said, an exotic automation where we can call up Tom Marino and say, hey, well, I need to bring a customer by tomorrow. They want to see your building. And, if you want to say a few words, go ahead. If not, they let us in. We get to walk around. And it's a gem right there off of Grand River. It's a beautiful building. They're very proud of it. And every customer that we walk through there, they're very proud of it. And, again, NLB down the street, the DTE facility that we just finished. There's plenty of facilities that we can talk about. And it's really important to us that when we finish a building, we want to be able to mention that client going forward and say, hey, here's somebody you can talk to if you want to hear something more from their aspect of how were they treated as a customer along the way. They can tell you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, John. I'll make sure that all of the information is in the show notes.
That'd be great.
For today's episode. Certainly appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap up this week's edition of the Chamber Podcast. We'll be back next week with another episode. Take care.